In this video I'm going to demystify scales so you can spend less time worrying about what you think you should know and more time playing. I'm also going to show you some finger twisting exercises to keep things interesting. Welcome to Andy Play Guitar, where I'll teach you to teach yourself to play the guitar. But it's really easy to get lost in what you think you should be learning when you're starting out. You can get a sense needing to learn certain things to get where you want to be. And one such area is music theory. Music theory doesn't have to be a chore, nor do you need to delve into its inner complexities in order to play people's faces off, which, let's face it, is all that counts. Your gateway drug to understanding it all is the humble major scale. Keep watching and I'll tell you why these 7 notes are magic. There are only 12 notes in total, and then they all repeat again. So what you're really learning when you learn scales is the gaps between the notes. The gaps between notes are called an interval, and those gaps will be the same whatever key you're playing in. We're only playing 7 of the 12 notes available. Please stick around because I'm really going to boil this down and then give you some exercises to play with. I've chosen C major as the key to demonstrate this with. A C major has no sharps, which look like this, and no flats, which look like this. A sharp is one note or a semitone higher than the letter that precedes it. A flat is one note or a semitone lower. And you can see that up here. In C major, the sharps are the notes that we're not playing. So what else do you notice about these 7 notes? I'm hoping that you've noticed they're the first 7 letters of the alphabet. Because we're in C major, we're starting on C, and then when we get to G, it goes to A and to B, and you're back at C again. So you've reached a full octave, and then you start the whole pattern again. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And that's your scale. Next I'm going to show you something that totally blew my mind when it clicked. Let's look at the A major scale. I've just played through the A major scale just to demonstrate how that would sound on the guitar. If you look at the diagrams I'm about to present to you over here, if you lay out the notes of the A major scale, you can see that there are some sharps there, the 3rd note, the 6th note, and the 7th note. They're all represented A, B, C, D, E, F, G, just starting on a different note, and sometimes there are sharps, or sometimes they come flats, depending on the key. I want to show you what happens when you flatten the 3rd, the 6th, and the 7th note in the major scale. I'm using A major. If you take away the sharp by flattening the notes, instead of a C sharp, you've got a C. Instead of an F sharp, you've got an F. Instead of a G sharp, you've got a G. And we're going to call them the minor 3rd, the minor 6th, the minor 7th, because we are cool. Flatten those. You've got the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and if you play them in that order, that is an A minor scale. If you flatten the 3rd, the 6th, and the 7th note of the A major scale, you've got an A minor scale. If you just remember that as you're playing it, you now know 2 scales. If C major has the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and A minor has the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, the same notes, A minor is the relative minor of C major. Play the C major scale over something that's in A minor. It applies to all your keys. If you've got a major scale, it's got a relative minor. Distance is the same, so if you count back from the 8th fret on the low E string, it's a C note. 7th fret, 6th fret, 5th fret, that's an A. Count that same distance of frets backwards, that's your relative minor. If you want to play the actual minor key, starting on A, you would start as though you were going to play your major scale, and you're just playing the 3rd, the 6th, and the 7th note 1 fret lower than you would if you're playing the major scale. What we're really learning is the gaps between the notes. Intervals. And the intervals for the major scale: tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Cool. Glad you've got that now. So that, in tone, is the distance of 2 frets. So between that first note of your major scale and the 2nd note, you're not playing the fret between it, you're playing the one after it. So that's a tone. And a semitone is just 1 fret. It's the next fret along from the note that you're playing there. So there you go. Let's move on to the exercises, which I would like you to practice with a metronome, very slowly at first, and then pick it up as you get better at them. Just stick them in your brain and then you can start playing around with them all and more. But yeah, have a go at these.